Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
We're about to start the music again. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see everybody. It is earlier than usual for us, but I'm sneaking this early one in on you, and I'll tell you why. Last night when I got off the live, I went into another live and I was in there chit-chatting in the chat, and I was doing like my nightly stuff, that I do. And as a woman, and some men actually, Vincent does this too, but as a woman, I put my face stuff on at night. And as I'm listening to like a live, I'll, do that. I'll put like my face cream on, all that like stuff that I have in my nightstand. I keep it by my night. I keep it in my nightstand, so I'll do it. Well, I didn't realize that I didn't know if I took my medicine last night for bed, let's just say. So I'm in the chat and I'm like, I feel a little tired. Do I take it again? I'm getting questions. I'm getting answers from the chat. I'm like, do I take it again? So I sat there for like, it usually only takes me about a half hour and I'm out. Like I was up till the whole morning. I mean, I was up all night. So it was eventful. But so I figure I'll do a live tonight, at 7, and then we have tomorrow's hearing, and then I should be all back to normal. But yeah, it was crazy. So then I ended up, I got up and I was like, I've got to take my medication. I woke up Vincent probably a million times last night with me laughing. That was the big one. He's like, are you in there? Are you in there? I'm like, I'm laughing. I'm in here laughing. So welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Look at that. Mary Beth got the memo. I didn't know if anyone would get their notifications or anything. Hey, DM. Hey, Petunia. Hey, Mr. Rosebud. It's good to see you guys. Hey, Tom. I saw Jay was in here. We got Kathy in here. We got everybody in here, don't we? Hey, Samantha. Welcome in. It's good to see you guys. I won't go through the whole list, but I will go through some of you guys. Hey, Joyce. Yeah, Samantha, actually, I don't know that answer. So if anybody in the chat knows how to upgrade your membership, like if you're gifted a membership or if you like buy a membership, I meant to look into that for you, Samantha, because that's something I don't know. Hey, gotcha. I would think that if you went back onto my page, but I think it would just show up like your perks. So it might be on my front page though, if you go to the front page. And I may have to let the dog in. She's already out there making noise. Hey, Boone. Oh, you fall asleep at the late lives? Oh, me. I'm glad you said something, Boone. Oh, William. Oh, Bill. Yeah. Bill had me that last night. I felt like I was reborn. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been like snarky, I guess you could call it, or like, or call out the bull crap. And I was just like, I mean, I brought it to my For You page, but I blame you guys for it because I didn't watch anything for the longest of times. I laughed so hard at your description of the Pennsylvania's mom's house. Well, I'm from Pennsylvania. Someone called me country today in my comments. I was like, I am country. Sure am. Hey, Chloe. Are you really originally from Michigan? Jay, I could totally see that. For some reason, I don't know. When I look at you, I think like you belong in Florida because that's like your vibe. But I don't know. I always thought you were like like I don't know. I can relate to you. I feel like on a level where up in these northern Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, these little areas, we all kind of like I don't know. I feel like we kind of talk the same. We do things the same. I don't know. My accent's a little crazy though. We'll figure it out for you, Samantha. Oh, it was so it was Saturday. The one that we did, it was Saturday, I believe. It should still be up. It should be up there. It'll be um it was weird because I think it was actually on the 15th, the date. Or no, not the date. It wouldn't have been today's the 17th, Tuesday. Yeah, because we ran into Sunday morning. So it was because I was like, where's my 14th live? Like, because I'm here every day. Hmm. I'm always here. So I don't know if Jay has seen this, but we have a new character unlocked in this saga. Do you remember when Justin came out here? Truth and Transparency brought him on the platform and he ran his mouth for a couple days. He got like over 2,000 subscribers and then he just like pieced out. And then he came back for a little bit. And then he ran his mouth about, Chief Fry. I don't know where he was getting his information. Like, I don't know what depths, like, he was making some stuff up, but he was a little interesting. At least that guy was like, at least Justin gave us some like, I'll give that to him. At least he made me think a little bit, this guy, not so much at all. He came out and he said, this is verbatim, like not verbatim, but basically what he said. And he had two videos, and then he had a short, but the two videos basically were, I know Bryan Kohberger and you guys don't. He wouldn't do this. That's how he knew him. And that's all he said about him. He didn't say how he knew him, where he met him, if they went to school together, none of that. Well, we look it up. They live 2.5 hours apart because on the second one, he doxes himself, his full address. Jay, he came out with on his second video, his full address. Come get me, bro. I used to be in the Marines. Okay. I know Bryan Kohberger. Okay. That's all we got. I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries. So we know his name's William. I like to call him Bill. He knows Bryan Kohberger. Okay. He was a Marine. He said he was in Afghanistan in 2005. So that puts him like 10 years older than Bryan. And then he lived 2.5 hours away from it. Like it was bad all over. But the internet lives forever. And, I love that for everybody on the internet because it really does. That's why I don't delete anything. I don't think I've ever I might have privated a couple videos just because they were I didn't mess up, but maybe I know I privated a couple. Because I didn't want to get dinged, like because I played like Dateline or something. You know what I mean? Those videos I did, but I've never really been a deleter, you know? Well, this guy, we got a new guy. He's got, so last night when I came on here, I've been keeping track. I came on about 6 p.m. And when I saw this guy's like profile, right? So he deleted all of his videos, his whole channel's wiped except for his like post, which I thought it was just me for a minute. I was like, what am I seeing? We read through his comment section though. We read all those comments from like Harsh Reality. I'm going to use your videos tomorrow, man. To, you know, everybody, just that Nico girl was like, thanks for shouting me out. Because he had that was the other thing. He had a list of good creators and fat creators. They weren't bad. They weren't like not factual. They were fat, like big. So I guess I would be on there. I'd be under the etc. because he didn't put my name on there. Of course, because I mean, you know, why would he? He was going high. He was shooting for the stars, you know, when he had Harsh. But he hits up to 1.21K subscribers. His video that he put out on his shorts is what really got me going, Bill. He is throwing knives in his short video. Now, no matter what the case, you know, whether let's say he knows Bryan, let's say all the things, right? It's very insensitive as a human being on this earth to upload on June 12th a video of you throwing a knife at a target and hitting it, like right where you needed to hit it. And then going up and saying some stuff like to it, like you took us on, you know, the camera walk up there. This guy to me is a jokester. This is the outfit he was wearing in both of his videos in the same background. I don't know where he'd be living in his mama's house. Pennsylvania, he said. 1117 something. He read it off. I didn't. But yeah, that was pretty scary. But yeah, he deleted his videos, so I just thought I would tell you guys that. It was pretty funny. I saw like a bunch of you guys were in the comments going, oh my gosh, you're like, he deleted his videos. I was like, no, he didn't already. Like, you know, I mean, we didn't even get to like have any fun with him. He was like, I'm out of here. I doxed myself. The internet's forever. You told everybody to use your videos. So, and they're all over Twitter too. So I'm sure that, you know, they still are. But these were the documents that I was telling you guys last night, and it looks like they added some, so like a couple. But it's going to be sealing. A lot of them, they're all just sealing. Motions to seal and then order sealing. So they'll be pretty easy to go through. Now, tomorrow's hearing is, was it 12:30 their time? I have it scheduled for 2:30 our time. So I have it scheduled for 2:15. But we'll just click on these. We'll just see what they say. We'll go from there. See if there's any like little tidbits in there. Also, why is everybody's name William? Willie? Like, remember Bryan's other friend that he went to school with? He made a channel. His name was Willie. I'm like, what's with the names? I don't know. We don't got like a Bob or anything. And he said, oh, that's what he said too. Bryan would never hurt a fly. Tell his old high school buddy that he decided to pick on after, you know, he lost some weight. The comment section is just still, it really still is in my brain. Like the comment section was like, we believe in you. Like he didn't even say anything. Willie was Willie could be William. Man, they kind of do look similar. I mean, I'm just like, huh. I'm gonna let my dog in real quick. That dog is, she has put her little paw on the door. Hold on one second. Okay, she got up earlier. That crazy dog. Okay, she got up earlier when I got up, like, and walked out. Now she's over here licking stuff. She's so crazy. But yeah, everyone's name is Bill or William. I'm gonna call him Bill though. So, and we have Bill Thompson. So it's even, you know. And he was just calling everybody fat. Like that wasn't. I don't know. Just he's a grown adult. He's 38. I mean, like if you do the math, I guess he's about 38, 39, 38 because he was born in April. He was an Aries. And I don't know. He was just that guy is living rent free in my head. I'm laughing about it still. I'm just dumbfounded that many people believed it. I thought about I was going to do it on TikTok today to see if anyone believed me, but I didn't want to do that. So this is motion to seal state's motion to amend witness list and supplement expert disclosure. We can't have no fun ever. Comes now the state of Idaho. Yeah, and they are sealing everything now. I mean, they weren't. They were actually letting us have some stuff, but I think after the Dateline episode, that pretty much went away. But it comes now the state of Idaho by and through the Lake Tahoe County prosecuting attorney, and hereby moves the court, and it gives the rules. It says to seal the state's motion to amend witness list and supplemental expert disclosures. So they amended it? Wonder if that lady, like, this came out the other day. Well, 6/12. Just wondering if they're amending their witness list because they're like, oh, there's the DoorDasher. I'm just kidding. Motion to seal state's motion to amend witness list and supplement expert disclosure. And it says that they're just they're asking for an order sealing the state's motion to amend witness list and supplemental disclosure and attached exhibits pursuant to the court's October 8th, 2024 order. The guilt phase witness list, was to be filed under seal. Oh, wait, hold on. We saw this. We saw the defense's like witness list. Remember when we were going through the documents the other, I think it was a few days ago. Like at the bottom of the 22-page document. I wonder if they were supposed to put that out or if they just accidentally put that out. So that's just, these are all just sealing. Motion to seal defendant's reply in support of motion for access. It doesn't tell me any more than that or tell us any more than that. Well, at least one of those are open tomorrow. I didn't watch them, but Vincent asked me when he got home about it. I said, well, they're just still deliberating. I just hate the way that the families have been treated through all this with that case. Trying to see if any of these are good, or if they'll give us any information. But this one here, it says, is a motion to seal defendant's reply to state's objection to defendant's offer of proof, alternate perpetrator, and evidence in support. I swear to y'all, if Ann Taylor walks in there with that glove from outside that they found on the 20th of November, and she says, here, this is my alternate perpetrator and this is my evidence, I mean, I'll pass out. I don't think she would do that. I mean, I do think she would do that. Actually, I lied. I do think she would do that. And this is just a order sealing it. Order sealing motion to amend witness list and supplement expert disclosure. Okay, yeah. So he sealed everything today. They put him out on I'll share this back with you. 6/12, 6/13, and he got to them today or yesterday. Well, today's the 17th. OJ style. What if they could do something what are they going to bring in? The glove and be like, it doesn't fit him. I mean, they could. They really, I don't see why not. It worked for OJ, right? But wouldn't that be something? I don't know what else I don't know. I really would love to know what Ann Taylor's thinking with the alternate perpetrator. Who is she going to? I have no clue who she would even get to say that. I'm trying to put all the evidence and put it onto someone else, and it just doesn't really work that way. I think that if that knife sheath wouldn't have been there, that would have been a lot better for them. But it was. I think that's what, you know, is gonna do them in the long run. I think that there's a lot more that we don't know too. I really do. The PCA, they only have to put enough in there to get probable cause. A lot of people think like they have to put everything in there. I saw a comment on somewhere. It might have been my page. I don't remember. I saw a comment, but they were like, "Well, that wasn't in the PCA." Well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we've learned since the beginning of this case that wasn't in the PCA, you know? So, I don't know. But tomorrow is the 18th, and there is the hearing scheduled at 12:30 their time, so it'll be 2:30 our Eastern Standard Time. So, and that's the motion to continue, and it's not gonna be sealed. Personally, my opinion, I think we're gonna be going to trial as usual. I don't think that there is, any continuing any continuance gonna be granted. That's just my personal opinion. Like, maybe he'll give her an extra week, like, to get, like, some disclosures or whatever it is put in, but I don't think he's gonna move that trial date. He's pretty set in stone on that trial date. They sent out subpoenas to Pennsylvania. They sent out subpoenas to Nevada for, Bethany. I'm pretty sure there's probably a subpoena out there. I just couldn't find it for Dylan. So, I don't think that, in my opinion, he doesn't seem like he's going to change his mind. He looks like he's gonna keep on going, just like we were, you know? And I hope so. I hope for the family's sake and for everybody else's sanity that's just been in, you know, watching this case as an observer. Um, as the American people, we have the right to know about this case and to learn about this case and to see it play out in a public trial. That's the best thing about being an American, you know? We have that right. We have that constitutional right to be able to, like, you know, see that. So, hopefully everybody stays on their P's and Q's. Everybody is cool until we can get to trial because we don't, you know, want him to be postponing this for any reasons. So I was going through some different articles, and I put together some stuff that they have been going over, like a summary of like the latest updates and all that. So let me see here. I was going to read through this with you guys. I'm going to try to see if I can make it. I don't know if I can make it any bigger. We'll just put it in light viewing mode. Maybe that'll help. Maybe we'll move me if we need to. So, Mary Beth, I'm going to do a different tier for that. It'll be coming out soon. It'll come out before the videos and stuff come out. But yeah, it's going to be like a new tier. It'll be like Titan plus Discord. Yeah. And I'm going to try to like get that tier actually set up tomorrow while we're like listening into the court hearing. I didn't want to like start it too soon because I want to make sure I have it. Like I have the Discord set up. I just want to make sure I know how to like stream the video to there. So, but the Bryan Kohberger case involving the 2022 murders of 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, Xander Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez, has seen several recent developments as of June 17th, 2025. Below is a summary of the latest updates. I didn't realize what the date was today. Today is it's a day. It's a day. If you guys remind me at the end, I'll tell you. So, trial delay request. This is what we've been dealing with here lately. But Kohberger's defense team, led by attorney Ann Taylor, filed a motion to delay the trial originally scheduled to begin on August 11th, 2025 in Ada County, Boise. The request cites the need for additional time to review extensive discovery materials and prepare for the defense, particularly following a Dateline NBC special aired on May 9th, 2025, which allegedly included leaked case details in violation of a gag order. She didn't get that. She, as of right now, he said no. When she goes to him and says, "Well, I need more time. I need more time." He's not like Judge. I was telling actually Vincent about this earlier. I was like, Judge would be like, okay, like how much time do you think you'll need? You know, like he would grant that in a way. And with Judge Hippler, I feel like he's more just, well, I like him. He's by the balls. He's like, well, you've had 2.5 years. Why haven't you come to me before now? Why haven't you hired anybody in? Why haven't you, what's Jay Logston doing? He didn't say that, but I'm wondering that. He said, why did you pick up another case if you weren't even prepared for trial for this one, right? And I heard that she stood silent in that other one as well. So that must be what she does. Well, sits silent. I wonder if he sat or if he stood. I'm curious. Also, the defense argues that the publicity from this episode and an upcoming book, The Idaho 4 by James Patterson and Vicki Ward, could prejudice the jury pool, potentially infringing on Kohlberger's right to a fair trial. No ruling on the delay has been reported as of the latest updates. They actually, they have said that they're not. Well, tomorrow we'll know if they got a continuance for sure. But I don't think that they'll get it. Am I wrong? Have I been wrong before? Yeah, I think we all have, Hey, Squeaky. Right, Bill Wowers, $200 a month. What if Bryan's like been this just pain in the ass this whole time, and she's like, I'm making sure I get my money's worth. I don't know. If you're a tier 2, I probably would just, if you want to go down the tier, you can go down, or if you want to stay at the same one, I'll make sure that the tier 2 members, like you guys will of course get the you don't have to re-sign up. So I should have made that clear. Anybody that's a Titan tier 2 wouldn't have to go down. Like you would still get all of those things as at where you're at. So you would just stick with where you're at. But gag order violations on May 15th this year, Judge Hippler, overseeing the case, ordered prosecutors and defense attorneys to preserve records and provide a list of individuals with access to case information after the Dateline NBC episode revealed previously unreported details. And they did that, such as Kohlberger's internet search history and cell phone data. Hippler indicated he is open to appointing a special prosecutor to investigate potential violations of the 2023 gag order, which prohibits public statements outside the court record. This issue could impact the trial's timeline and jury selection. Now, I'm wondering if like those were revealed, let's say, and I'm not stating the Gonzalez's, if I'm just going to say a family member, I'm just saying like if it was a family, let's say I'm just throwing this out there. Let's say it was Bryan's family, What was I going to say about it now? Son of a gun. Oh, this is what I was saying. They're not like really under the gag order. So if they were just like guessing, right? And they were just like giving this stuff to Dateline and just happened to be true. Like I wonder if they'd be able to like figure that out. I don't know. I just don't really, do you see them figuring out who did this? I don't know. I hope that they do kind of, just so we know. Hippler indicated he is open to appointing, or read that, sorry, alternate perpetrator theory. During a May 15th, 2025 hearing, Kohlberger's defense proposed an alternate perpetrators theory, suggesting others may have committed the murders. And that's all they said. They didn't say anything else other than that. Judge Hippler sealed the filing and requested the defense provide admissible evidence by May 23rd, 2025 to support this claim. A follow-up hearing on this matter is scheduled for tomorrow. Legal experts have called this a Hail Mary strategy, indicating its speculative nature. I mean, yeah, I didn't do it. He did it. I mean, you got to have like some evidence to back that up. And I swear it better not be something that they've already like went over. So the rulings that he has ruled on is the DNA evidence. The defense requested to exclude the DNA evidence linking Kohlberger to a K-bar knife sheath found at the crime scene. It was denied, marking a significant win for prosecutors. The Amazon purchase history. Prosecutors can present Kohlberger's Amazon records showing he purchased a K-bar knife sheath and sharpener in March 2022 and searched for similar items post-murders. The defense argued this could be prejudicial, but Hippler deemed it highly relevant, and it is. And I think that they're actually going to have their own expert come in. I don't know how he's going to explain that, but he's going to tell the jury that, and we'll see if, they have him, but that he's going to tell the jury how it's possible that something from your Amazon like storefront or whatever where you're shopping from can be added into your cart without you doing it. I don't know how they're going to do that. I've never had something go into my cart. I've never looked at my Amazon cart and been like, whoa, what's that? How'd that get in there? Maybe if I drank, but I don't. Cell phone and surveillance data, evidence including cell phone tower data showing Koberger's phone connected 23 times to a tower near the crime scene and surveillance footage of a white Hyundai Elantra consistent with Koberger's vehicle will be admissible. Welcome in, everybody. So you would be right on time with them, Mary Beth, their mountain time. Let's see, where were we? The autism diagnosis. The defense sought to introduce Koberger's autism spectrum disorder diagnosis to explain his courtroom demeanor and argue against the death penalty. Hold up, wait a second. Hold on a second. Didn't Koberger's attorneys say that they were going to provide proof that he had this like as a kid? Like he was tested for this as a kid and stuff like that? I did hear something about that. I let's see if I can pull it up. Okay, yeah, I have it pulled up. I'll talk about it towards the end. But yeah, I meant to pull that up actually, and I forgot. I'm just reading the chat. And thanks for putting the little bombs in there. See, I can see that. Yeah, that was one thing that was like really got me upset last night about that freaking Bill guy. Like he was like drunk parrot. And I heard Jules say it too. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, do you guys seriously, you are grown adults. Do you think that's affecting him? Do you think Daniel cares that you're calling him that? Like, that's like someone making fun of my name. Like, you know what I mean? Go ahead. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine. Like, my name is Tanya, but it's spelled Tanya. Like, I'm built for that. You know what I mean? Like, for my name to be like made fun of. But I was just like, wow. Like, I mean, I didn't watch any like Idaho content for so long that it was like, people act childish. Like, it's sad. So I'm wondering if his parents had him evaluated as a child or whatever, and he was diagnosed with autism, let's say, then why didn't he use that as like his crutch or whatever through his like teen years, like he kind of did with visual snow? Like that was like his identity there for a little bit, right? Like visual snow, I have visual snow and I'm getting used to it, and I'm, you know, poor me, my family's, you know, not going to look at me the same, like those kind of things. Like, wouldn't you think he would use that? Well, I have autism. I don't know. But Hippler ruled that ASD does not preclude capital punishment. Yeah, it does not. The diagnosis may still be mentioned to contextualize Koberger's behavior during the trial. Now, if they bring that in, that kind of opens up the door for the prosecution to like say, like assume and say things about him, right? Matcha Chi, just say no to nut jobs. They might be, DM. That might be what they're trying to do. I mean, that one guy came out of here and was just like good creators versus bad creators. I mean, it was crazy. Other evidence, a selfie taken by Koberger hours after the murder showing him with bushy eyebrows matching a witness description, and his 2020 academic paper on crime scene investigation are admissible. The defense attempts to exclude these were denied. Trial logistics. The trial was moved from Latah County to Ada County to ensure a fair jury pool due to extensive media coverage. And they have like 600,000 people or something like that to pull from in that county. So they'll find 12 to 20, with their alternates and everything, jurors to sit on that jury. I have faith in that. That will be able to put, if they know the case or heard the case, put it aside. And thanks for the super chat. I don't know if I thanked you for that, Monchichi. I meant to heart it. I can never remember which ones I can heart and which ones I can't. Isn't it? Yeah. Mary Beth, I thought that was so immature. I was like, you can't even give us, like, you can't even say something about our coverage. You're calling us names. Like, I don't know, not me, I guess, per se, because I guess I could have been the etc. at the bottom. Okay, I was reading more of the trial logistics. So it is expected to last through November 7th, 2025. So no vacations for anybody. August 11th through November 7th. Sorry. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. Address motions challenging the death penalty, which prosecutors intend to seek if Koberger is convicted. New details from court filings, unsealed documents from a Dateline special revealed Koberger's phone searches included Ted Bundy, Britney Spears song Criminal, and University of Idaho murders post-crime. A surviving roommate, Dylan Mortensen, saw a masked man with bushy eyebrows in the house and texted another roommate, Bethany Funk, expressing confusion when no one responded. A 911 call was made hours later when a victim was found unresponsive. Koberger's interaction at a June 2022 pool party were described as awkward, and he sent a formal text about hiking to a classmate. He struggles as a teaching assistant at Washington State University, including complaints about his demanding nature, were noted. Public and family reactions. But I mean, he's not confrontational, remember? He wouldn't hurt a fly, that guy said. Public and family reactions. The Gonzalez family has expressed frustration with the slow judicial process, calling it a hamster wheel of motions. Shannon Gray, their attorney, criticized prosecutors for poor communication with victims' families. Koberger's immediate family is permitted to attend the trial despite some being potential witnesses. And I want to make this clear again that Attorney Gray's been their attorney since the beginning of this, since Bryan was like first arrested. He didn't just come on in the last couple of weeks. Some are led to believe that. So the defense strategy, beyond the alternate perpetrator theory, the defense has argued that Koberger's constitutional rights were violated by the use of investigative genetic genealogy to identify him. And actually, I looked up today, right here. I just happened to look this up. Look at this. Look at this. How many times have they used IgG in court for murder cases? Hundreds of murder cases, primarily in the U.S., to identify suspects in cold cases and active investigations. While the exact number of murder cases where IgG has been used in court is difficult to pinpoint, it has been a crucial tool in solving many high-profile and long unsolved cases. So this ain't the first time it's been used. This ain't going to be the last time it's been used. Get over it, Ann Taylor. It's just a new way of people getting, like, officers are utilizing this tool to get people's information and shoot, go for it. And then there was just, I put like the public sentimental next, people are wilding out over there pretty much. Basically, that's what they're doing. There's very much, it seems like I don't know, maybe I haven't seen enough, like on Twitter, maybe it's just my Twitter feed, but it seems like there are a lot of people that are for Bryan Koberger, like, to be innocent in this. And they will say things like, I mean, they will have no facts or anything, and that's what gets me irritated. But they'll say Bryan Koberger didn't do this, and that's it. Like, that's all. I'm just like, you got to give us some more than that. Like, why? Why do you think this way? I think I actually was challenging some people on X earlier today. Let me see. Some people just won't say anything. Oh, that's sad. Well, at least I helped her out. I'm just out here helping the people. Okay. Man, my Twitter feed's something. It's reckless over there. So we do have a new. So you know how, like in this case, a lot of things have come out in this case. I feel like that mainstream media hasn't touched. Whether it's somebody being, saying that someone is guilty, the whole internet going after them, or whether it is like um they saw a naked man in the house that night. I don't know. There's just been like, these things that have come out, and the news knows just we're not touching that. But they decided to CNN and a couple, or Fox News and a couple others decided to touch on the DoorDash driver, and I was actually surprised. But they do give the correct person, I believe the correct person, the credit for it. So I appreciate that. Maybe it was my loud mouth that did that. I don't know. I know, Chloe. It was. I read it, and I was like, I couldn't find it anywhere else, and I was like, where else can we find this? And it was just, oh, we're early tonight because I came on at 7:15. That way I can get some sleep. I didn't sleep at all last night. Your girl did not sleep at all. I thought I took my sleeping medicine and I didn't. Um, so it says here, surprise witness in Idaho student murder said she saw Bryan there on deadly night. I wonder if this one, I didn't listen to it, but I wonder if you could hear it better on the other page. But a surprised second witness has emerged in the Idaho student murders case and could testify against Bryan Kohberger at trial later this year. In case you guys have missed anything, a woman claiming to be the Idaho DoorDash driver who dropped off food to victim Xana Kernodle minutes before a home invasion stabbing spree killed her boyfriend and two roommates, has emerged as an unexpected eyewitness to testify at Kohberger's upcoming murder trial, and she told police she saw him at the scene. The purported driver revealed herself in a police body cam video from an alleged DUI stop taken in September 2024 and posted weeks later to the YouTube account Officer Axon, which publishes law enforcement videos obtained through public records request. Now, I'm curious how they knew to go to that guy's page, because that's not where this video's been out for 8 months on that page. They would have talked about this 8 months ago, right? I'm just saying, I'm not taking credit, but give me my credit. Give me my credit, Fox News. I'm just saying, I put it on Twitter. I put it on, I think, Reddit. Put it on here. And he did go up in like views. He went up like 1,000 or more. So that's good. But the purported driver revealed herself in a police body cam video from the alleged DUI stop when taken. And I already read that, sorry. But it says, which publishes law enforcement videos obtained through public records request. Web sleuths picked up on it, and her connection to the Kohberger case was reported in the Idaho Statesman Tuesday. I have to testify in a big murder case here because I am the DoorDash driver. So yeah, she says in the video. An officer asked which case. The murder case with the college girls, she says. She actually said girls, but I think she meant girls, though. I'm the DoorDash driver. I saw Bryan there. I parked right next to him. She is not named in redacted court documents and may suffer from credibility issues after police in Pullman, Washington, accused her of driving while high on drugs. Now, that was in 2024 that she got pulled over for all of this. We don't know her life or what she was like as of right now in 2022, right? When this happened. So, can you imagine being a DoorDash driver and you're just taking a damn delivery? You know what I mean? You're like, man, I got to go all the way from Pullman over here to Moscow because one of these college kids wants a hamburger, at 4 a.m. Driving over there, just thinking that's like the worst that's going to be it. Like, that's like, that's like the worst you're thinking, right? It's going to be of your night. And then you drive by or park next to, she says in here, to this guy that seems kind of off. You see him drive by and it's a slow night. college town. Maybe she's observant, but she sees him. And then just imagine she probably didn't even think anything of it at the time, really. She probably went home next day, probably nothing, probably maybe a couple days later. And someone was like, those kids, these 4 kids got murdered. And then she figures out because everyone's saying 1122 King Road. That probably clicked in her head. Like, wait, I was just over on King Road. That's the same address. I mean, that for that realization to hit you that, oh my God, I saw that guy. That probably was the same guy that did this. Like, I don't know. I think that could really mentally affect somebody to where they might turn to something, Other than, and then her husband being shot 9 times in front of her. Goodness gracious. The DoorDash is among dozens of companies that police sought information from during their investigation, and they did. They wanted Xana and Ethan's DoorDash records. Kernodle received a delivery less than 10 minutes before the attack, which happened just after 4 a.m. on November 13th, 2022. A surviving roommate who is identified only by her initials in court documents told police early in the investigation that she came face to face with a masked man with bushy eyebrows before he left the house without attacking her. The attack also killed Ethan Chapin, who was Kernodle's 20-year-old boyfriend, and 2 21-year-old roommates, Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez. All 4 were University of Idaho students, and all 4 suffered multiple stab wounds from a large knife, according to authorities. Police found a K-bar sheath under Mogan's body that prosecutors allege has Kohlberger's DNA on it. Police allege they linked a suspect vehicle and Kohlberger's phone pings to the scene as well. The 30-year-old suspect, who is from Pennsylvania, was studying for a PhD in criminology at Washington State University, just a 10-mile drive from the crime scene. A judge entered not guilty pleas on Kohlberger's behalf at his arraignment in May 2023. He faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 felony burglary. He could face the death penalty if convicted. And yes, he can. Trying to see what else I have here. I'm going to go to Twitter or to X, whatever it is, and see if there's anything new. And then if not, there is a new video that came out that we could play. Probably just the DoorDash stuff. Yeah. Man. This lady probably didn't realize that she was going to be everywhere. Like, she's on, is this, mail online, isn't that? No, it's not. I thought that was like the other place that they only have 82 followers. I thought it was like the Daily Mail, but it does say that Daily Mail UK. It is the Daily Mail. They put her picture. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? You're on your way to the Walmart or whatever. I don't know if that's really where she was going, but she said she was right by the Walmart. And it's like a random day, right? We're not always looking our best. We don't always have our makeup on. Pajamas are optional there, right? So, you're supposed to go in your pajamas. I think the people were like, I don't think she looks like she's very well, but I think that it could have been like past drug usage, like not from that day or the day before even, or months before. It could have been like years before, and it can, affect your body like overall. So I don't know, but we'll listen to this video. It's been a while actually since we've listened to anything from Law and Crime. I feel like anyway. I feel like it's been a while. I think it's Anjanette Libby. It is, because I was listening to it earlier. So make sure if you don't have her on your YouTube, she has a YouTube channel now. So it's crazy. Like all of the like mainstream media, they're like whoever's an independent, I guess, independent journalist, like who's not like a free agent, I guess they can start a YouTube channel. I would think that's what the like stipulations would be. Like you'd have to be like a free agent. Oh, there's the cat. He was in here too. All right, I'm gonna play this video because the cat one's out now. I love this for us. But if you guys don't mind taking a second, hitting the like button. Thanks for being here tonight. I do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'm actually going to really quick while I remember it. Can I think I have to go back. I was going to see if I can redirect you guys. I meant to do that earlier. Like if I can redirect you after the live to go. Sorry. If I can find it. Okay. I did it. Okay, so after the live, it'll redirect you guys to the live for tomorrow morning. So you can always hit like notify me if you want to be notified of the live. And then if not, you can just bounce out of the live. You don't have to stay in there all night. Stay in there till tomorrow. Just kidding. But I'll play this video while I let the cat out here and we'll go over it.
Bryan Kohberger prepares to return to court for a hearing that will determine whether his trial indeed starts in August and whether he'll be allowed to point the finger at other suspects to defend himself. I look at what Kohberger wants, the evidence we know about so far, and the drama that's been unfolding behind the scenes. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Jury selection in Bryan Kohberger's quadruple murder trial, it's scheduled to begin at the end of July, and voir dire, that's the questioning of potential jurors, is scheduled to begin August 4th. It's not far off, but Kohberger's lawyers, they hope that Judge Stephen Hippler will give them a continuance. Kohberger's lead attorney, Ann Taylor, she says she's simply not ready for trial, despite turning over expert reports for both the trial phase and a possible penalty phase. That's where jurors would consider sentencing Kohberger to death or life in prison if he's found guilty. Kohberger's lawyers say he maintains his innocence in the brutal stabbing deaths of Maddie Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle at the house on King Road in Moscow, Idaho. The murders, carried out in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, absolutely rocked the community in the small college town. And the murders shattered the lives of the 4 victims' families and friends. Now, I've told you many times, many times, that police and prosecutors say that they linked Bryan Kohberger to the murders by identifying a single source of male DNA found on this part of the inner snap of a K-bar knife sheath, similar to this one, very, very similar, just like this one. Prosecutors say Kohberger bought a K-bar knife, sheath, and sharpener on Amazon in March of 2022, 8 months before the murders. Kohberger was arrested more than 6 weeks after the murders at his parents' home in Pennsylvania, and a lawyer representing him at the time said that Kohberger told him that he was eager to be exonerated. Now, the trial is scheduled to begin in August in Ada County, Idaho. That's where Boise is located. But Kohberger's lawyer, Ann Taylor, she says she's simply not ready and she needs more time to review discovery and prepare a defense. Taylor wrote in her request for a continuance, cutting off this review before counsel can complete it would significantly prejudice Mr. Kohberger. The state's case is circumstantial. Mr. Kohberger was not identified as a person of interest until weeks after the crime, and after he was identified, law enforcement ceased investigating all other possibilities. While counsel can't explain this in trial, every experienced trial lawyer knows that trials are essentially story battles. High-stakes duels where the prosecution and defense each tell competing narratives about the same set of events. Ultimately, the jury decides which story feels more true and more coherent. Even though the burden of proof rests with the prosecution and the defense bears no burden at all, humans are driven by narratives. That reality forces the defense to counteract the state's narrative with another compelling story. Adding to Taylor's request was the Dateline special that aired last month. That special unveiled evidence that had not been revealed and included video from a house on King Road that showed suspect vehicle 1. It also revealed Bryan Kohberger's Google searches and selfies of Kohberger wearing a black hoodie and claims that he was searching serial killer Ted Bundy. Bundy went to college in Washington State and killed women across the country, including sorority sisters. Judge Hippler was furious about the special and made it clear last month he wants the source of the leak ferreted out.
In the closed session this morning, I indicated to you I am going to be entering an order requiring retention of records by the state, and I'm going to write another one extending that to the defense as it relates to violations of the non-dissemination order. I'm going to give you a copy of what that order is going to look like that I will execute likely over the lunch hour. It does require some action on your part, counsel. And as I indicated, I would be open to a request for a appointment of a special prosecutor, and that special prosecutor to ask for a magistrate inquiry so they have the power of subpoena and the power to question witnesses under oath, as well as the power to grant immunity. So I will be looking for that from you. And that one just deals with the state. I will get you one that deals with your side to preserve records. All right. All right.
This is another law and crime legal alert. If you receive Depo-Provera, the leak came from the
Well, they saying the Depo-Provera shot's bad for you now? Because I mean, I might need to go back and get me that lawyer. I think we were all on that at one point.
LC Depot to see if you qualify. Hippler said he believes the leak came from the prosecution side. The Dateline special is now part of Kohberger's request for a delay.
So I wonder what gives Judge Hippler that impression. Because to me, it would seem that leaking that information, right, could give Ann Taylor a reason to get a continuance. So I would feel like that would be more beneficial to the defense than for the prosecution to leak that out. But I don't know. I wonder what like he's seeing. Like
Ann Taylor wrote, and
what if it was back in Pennsylvania? Some Joe Blow from Pennsylvania, right? Maybe it wasn't even a cop that worked on the, I mean, like wasn't directly a cop that worked on this case. What if it was a cop from Pennsylvania at the water cooler? I don't know if they still call it that, but you know, talking to his buddies and saying, oh yeah, we were out there and got Bryan Kohberger and blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know. I guess they probably wouldn't know this information because it's like, it came out later on, I guess. I mean, not like later, but I don't know. But it could have been somebody from PA. It could be anybody. I want to know. I want to know who did it.
The 2-hour Dateline episode is uniquely prejudicial in both tone and content. It constructs a speculative narrative around motive and guilt, features emotionally manipulative production elements, and amplifies unsupported theories through self-styled expert commentary, all timed to air just weeks before trial, when juror impressions are most vulnerable and voir dire least equipped to neutralize such deep-seated bias. But prosecutors are pushing back on the defense request for a continuance.
Yeah,
they wrote,
FBI.
"It is time to try this case. Defendant was arrested in late December of 2022 and was indicted in May of 2023. He successfully moved to transfer venue to Ada County. In October 2024, this court entered its scheduling order, setting deadlines for pretrial motions and expert disclosures. Defendant complied with those deadlines without moving for a continuance, including by disclosing 6 expert reports for the penalty phase, disclosing over 2,100 pages of purported mitigation materials, listing 55 penalty phase witnesses, and identifying 132 exhibits he may introduce during the penalty phase of trial." Prosecutors are also pushing back on Taylor's claim that the defense needs more time to complete a social history investigation. They claim Kohberger's lawyers have had plenty of time to uncover information about a car accident Kohberger was involved in as a child, which is listed
I forgot about that.
under trauma history, along with any history of neglect or maltreatment, which prosecutors say there's no evidence of that is relevant. Kohberger's struggles with addiction are also expected to come up if there is a penalty phase. Prosecutors are
I wonder if we could look that up. Right? Like, I mean, just wondering, like, that's a public record. Like, that's a car accident. His parents, if he was with his parents, which I'm assuming he was, if he was a child, he would have been with his parents, and it should be in their name. Like, there should be if it was that bad of a car accident, right? There would be an article about it in a newspaper somewhere.
They're also pouring cold water on Taylor's argument about the Dateline special and pretrial publicity. They write, there is no doubt that the publicity surrounding this case, including but not limited to a recent Dateline TV show containing non-public evidence, poses challenges for the court and both parties. The state reaffirms its commitment to comply with the court's non-dissemination order, to do everything in its power to prevent leaks, and to assist in determining which person or persons provided non-public information to Dateline. However, defendant's reliance on the Dateline episode to support his motion is misplaced for several reasons. I spoke with defense attorney Philip Dubé about what both sides are saying.
We don't win trials by ambush. If counsel for the defense is saying that they are not ready and they have good cause for needing to put it over, then so be it. You don't get a leg up in winning a prosecution merely because your opponent is not prepared. That's not how we try cases, particularly in a
there's a thing, he's a defense attorney, but he should know there's a thing called, like, what is it? Victims, not victims' rights, but it's like where you can't just sit there for years and years and years, right? And say, oh, no, not this year, we're not ready. Nope, not this year neither, we're not ready. Like, it's like with the victim, it's in with the victim's rights. Like, they get due process as well.
Capital case. Again, we're not talking about somebody passing a bad check, joyriding a car, or a simple assault.
Well, how about this? I'm sorry I'm pausing this guy because he gets under my skin. But how about we convict Bryan Kohberger first, right? Like, let's see if he's even guilty. Then they go to the guilt phase, right? And there's another argument there. But I mean, we as the public, the American people, and their family members deserve for it to be a trial, especially when the prosecutor and the defense was both aware months ago that, hey, if you need to pull out, now's the time. Nope, we're good. Nope, we're good. And now we're, a few weeks or, a couple months from trial and less than that. And she's like, oh, not ready. I mean, I don't know that you've had 2.5 years to look through that evidence.
Battery. We're talking about a quadruple homicide. They're seeking the death penalty.
So what's going to happen at this hearing? Well, the part about the continuance will be open to the public. We'll get to see that. And both the prosecution and the defense, they'll be allowed to present their arguments for and against a delay in the start of the trial. But then there will be a closed portion of the hearing where Kohberger's lawyers will fight for their request to present evidence of alternate suspects at trial. Prosecutors are opposed to that, but Ann Taylor has said she's investigating a lead.
I think I've read most of the police reports in this case, but I haven't read the thousands and thousands and thousands of tips that came in on this case. Don't think they're all not relevant, though. Recently, we came across a tip just in trying to work through some of these issues. We came across a tip that would appear to be an alternate suspect, and we're trying to work through that as rapidly as we can. It was quite a surprise to come up with that. There's got to be more in there that I need to know.
Now, prosecutors have said there's only one suspect in this case, and it's Bryan Kohberger. But the defense plans to argue at trial that these murders could not have been carried out in a matter of minutes by one person.
Your Honor, we have produced an expert that believes that it's likely that there were two people, two weapons.
Did you go in the house and did you do any, like, with your guy that says is going to say this guy that could say this? I mean, because the FBI did it, apparently. Apparently the FBI went in just like if they were Bryan Kohberger to see if they could do it. And I think, what was it, 2 minutes with each victim or something?
That
doesn't testimony about the degree of intoxication goes to the what I'm assuming was, given that degree of intoxication, the ability to fight back. in rebuttal to your experts, as I understand it.
I think that's what the state says. I don't think that's proper rebuttal. Well, because we didn't talk about intoxication, because the state's medical examiner talks about defensive wounds anyway. So this would seem to be contradictory with other testimony that they intend to put on. We are not contesting the intoxication level of any of the deceased.
That last part had to do with prosecutors saying that they have an expert who will say that Maddie Mogen was simply too intoxicated to fight back. Now, also playing into the defense's alternate perpetrator theory, there were two unknown sources.
I don't like that. I don't like that. She was too drunk to fight back. First off, she shouldn't have had to. Second off, you're saying that if she was sober, in my opinion, it sounded like that if she was sober, that she would be able to fight back and would have been okay. Like, I don't like that. No. Her size, so she was intoxicated, but I think even if she was sober could be, if he's swept in there and she didn't hear him coming in the door, even if she did, it's a guy with a K-bar, whoever it was. It's hard to fight back in that situation, right? I mean, she doesn't have a gun. She doesn't have a knife.
Of male DNA found at the King Road house. Ann Taylor has said that one is a spot of blood found on a railing in the house,
and she was asleep.
Another was on a glove outside. Judge Hippler has granted a defense request to test evidence, but the motion in order for that was sealed. So we don't know what evidence is being tested or analyzed, or whether that could delay the trial.
All right. So to talk about the very latest in this case, I want to bring in Joe Giacalone. He's a retired cold case sergeant with the NYPD. He's also the host of True Crime with the Sarge on YouTube. So check out his YouTube channel. Joe, there's a lot going on in this case lately. First off, let's talk about the defense request for a continuance. They say they need more time. They say the Dateline leak, has caused a lot of problems, prejudicial pretrial publicity. The prosecution's pushing back and saying, no, we don't need a delay. So let's unpack all of that. What are your thoughts on the request for a continuance by the defense, first off?
How you doing, Anjanette? Yes, I mean, at this point, I find it a little ridiculous at this point to keep on asking for a continuous. I mean, we're going on, close to 3 years soon. This case has gone through the grain, gone through all of the discovery, all the different things that could hold up a case. It's been true already. So at this point, so we had the leaks. I understand that. It's not going to be so detrimental to the case. As far as I'm concerned, you also have an opportunity that you still have much larger pool now in Ada County to pick a jury. I know that's part of her complaint that, the jury pool is going to be tainted and everything. Yeah, but I mean, at this point, let's move on with this case, because the longer this goes, the worse things could get. And to me, it's just a delay tactic.
That's interesting, because the prosecution basically says the same thing that you're saying. I know that you were a cop for many years, obviously. So you kind of still think like a cop. But what I love about you is that I feel like you're very good at looking at it from both sides. But you're saying it could get worse. And the more time that passes, there could be even more leaks or more prejudicial publicity that comes out.
Well, specifically the James Patterson book, right, where it specifically says in the upcoming thing about, having law enforcement access about, different parts of the case. So that's a concern of mine also as this goes forward. That's why I think if we can get the jury seated and get them into the courtroom before it hits or anything else could come out, I think it's an important aspect of this. Because, listen, everybody has that due process part. And yes, as being a police officer, for a long time, I will tend to side with the prosecution in certain aspects. But you know what? If the shoe was on the other foot, the defense would be saying, my client for speedy trial. This is going on for 3 years, right? So it's always depends on the argument about which side you're on in this case. Now the defense is trying to make this even longer.
I have to, though, ask you, Joe, if let's say you were the supervisor, you're Sergeant Joe Giacalone, and you're supervising this case and you're sitting at home on a Friday night watching Dateline and you see, all this stuff that has not been public out there, the Ted Bundy searches, the Google searches, all this information from Bryan Kohberger's phone, the selfies, the next door neighbor's video of suspect vehicle 1, it's all out there. The fact that he's following the news about this and saving clippings about it on his phone. Oh my God.
I mean, we knew about the Linda Lane footage before. We've had that. That's been out for years, a year and a half now or something.
Gosh, what would you be thinking as the supervisor on this case?
Well, I'll watch my words carefully here, but I'd be really upset about exactly what transpired with that, and specifically even with the James Patterson book. Law enforcement, their job is to build a prosecutable case. And part of that prosecutable case is keeping your secret, which we often refer to as operational security or OPSEC for short, because you don't want to give away everything that you have specifically into the media, because you run the risk of exactly what's happening now. So having a quality investigation is also keeping a lid on things. I mean, if you some of the big cases out there, we're not seeing these kind of leaks that have come out of Idaho. Yes, it's a very small place, which to me makes it easier to find out who's actually the leaker. I mean, if you're trying to find somebody in New York City, where you're talking about a police department of 30, 40,000 people, it's more difficult than somebody when you have, 20 or 30, half a dozen, FBI agents and such. So, yeah, listen, it's not a good look. And, I call it like I see it. If the police do a good job, I'll say it. If they do a bad job, like in this case, there are several things that I've been outspoken about, and this has just been one of them.
Do you think, just from your view of it, looking at this, do you think it was one person leaking? Do you think it was more than one person? The judge obviously thinks it's somebody on the law enforcement side of things. He said that essentially in his order to both sides to preserve the records.
The judge believes that it's the prosecution side, and so do I. I mean, there is just certain things that it would just scream that this came from, the law enforcement side. It bolsters their case. I know some saying, "Oh, it's defense, so they can get all these different, things." I'm like, yeah, no, because it's very damaging as far as I'm concerned to the defense's case that their client is not responsible for this. All roads lead to Rome. So the issue, I think it's more than one person. I think that you have different aspects in the timeline, right? From the video surveillance to the internet searches and all these things. These happen at different time. Imagine that it's more than one person.
The prosecutors kind of allude to that in their response, that they say they're committed to upholding the non-dissemination order and to finding the source or sources of the leak. So they're saying they sound like they think it could be more than one person as well, and that they're committing to helping the court figure out who did this. If you're supervising this, Joe, do you think right now there is something active going on? I mean, the judge kind of signaled he wanted like an investigation into this, or that he was open to a special prosecutor looking into this. We haven't heard whether or not that's going on, whether or not that's happened, an appointment of a special prosecutor. Do you believe right now there's an active investigation into the source of these leaks?
Yes, and I think the judge opened the door to having a special prosecutor. Didn't say he was going to do it immediately. I think he just dumped it into the prosecutor's lap and say, "This is your problem. You fix it, or I'm going to have to." That's how I interpreted the remarks by the judge. I mean, this judge is a speak softly, carry a big stick guy, and I think he's willing to use it. And from the prosecution standpoint, I think it behooves them to do an active investigation, to be able to try to identify the leaks, to show everybody, say, listen, we do not agree to what happened here, and we're upset about this too, and this is what we've done up on it.
Now, we've had some new developments over the last week or so that have been pretty interesting. Judge Hippler was all for keeping things open. He had told both sides a while back, quit sealing things. It's become the norm in this case. You can redact things, but these records need to be public. Now we're back to sealing things. And maybe the Dateline thing really sent a chill down his spine. Maybe it's because we're so close to jury selection. But now we're back to sealing everything. And there's an order, the defense requested independent analysis of evidence. And he granted that. We can tell that from the title of these things that are sealed. We don't know what that evidence is. I think to myself, if we're talking about the sheath, if we're talking about this, that should have been done in 2022. If we're talking about what was found here on the DNA of the sheath or whatever, that should have been done a long time ago. So I find it hard to believe it could be that, but that doesn't mean that it's not. Maybe somebody reaches out to the defense and says, hey, I'm an expert and I think I could look at this, or, things come up. Reading the tea leaves, and I'm asking you to speculate here, Joe, looking at all of this, what do you think it is? I mean, it could be any number of things. It doesn't have to be the sheath. It could be those unknown male DNA, blood spots, the one on the railing, the thing outside. I mean, it could be any number of things, but I have to think it has to do with, physical evidence.
Where'd she go? That's weird. Where'd she go?
Done, sir.
Like, where'd they go? They gone.
Yes, and
then it comes back.
I do too. And also that physical evidence, to me, if you're going to attack anything, you go after the direct evidence, because everything else in this case is circumstantial. And the fact that you can't have a case entirely built on circumstantial evidence is a false narrative for a lot of people. Say, oh, you can't have a case. Most cases are circumstantial evidence. So to me, the most damaging part of this case is
what do you think they did before DNA?
Direct evidence. Now, we also don't know of all the other evidence that is in this case. The other evidence that they're now going to try to challenge. So to me, that would be the most prudent thing to do if I'm the defense. Go after something that points specifically to my client and saying that this person is excluded from all others, specifically when I'm trying to introduce a third party into this as a possible suspect.
Do you think that the defense says they need more time? They're like, we just need more time. They feel rushed. They feel like they've had to meet all of these deadlines and there's all this stuff to go through. They're still doing their mitigation investigation. They've got this third party perpetrator stuff. They said they came across this tip in like April. They're still investigating that. They've presented evidence to the court. The judge this week, there's going to be a sealed hearing. We're not going to know who they're wanting to point the finger at during the trial. But the state is opposing that. They're saying there's only one suspect in this case, and he's the guy charged. So what do you think the judge may do with that? I mean, we're not going to be privy to what they're talking about, but I mean, the guy's got to be able to present a defense. Bryan Kohberger's got to be allowed to present a defense, but at the same time, there's case law dictating a bar that the defense has to meet to be able to say, these other dudes did it.
Well, and not only that, I mean, we're dealing with a death penalty case, which, kind of underlines where the defense is going with this, that they need more time because of that. And you don't want to open yourself up to making a possible appeal out of something, saying that we weren't given enough time because of the defense, was going to turn around and say, see, if you would have given us more time, we would have been able to do this. But remember, this is also the same defense team that held up the alibi for so long too. Remember that the judge even had to say, well, you have now this date to get out the alibi too. So they have been, kind of pushing the envelope as far as I'm concerned the entire time. And I think that they just, ultimately, I think that the judge carries that big stick. He's going to come down on them and say, no, this is what you need to do. And this is how much time you have left to do it.
But I feel like the alibi and some of these things kind of tie together too. At this point, the judge is basically saying he's seen nothing. He's saying he's inclined to not give the alibi instruction. He's seen nothing that meets the alibi standard. No witness named, corroborating the alibi or saying I saw Bryan Kohberger here. All he's seeing is like stuff about a park and, possible cell phone data. So right now the judge has signaled Bryan Kohberger has no alibi.
Yeah, he didn't meet the alibi didn't meet the standards set by Idaho law. We know that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when you so that and remember they postponed that alibi too. It took them a long time to get it out there, and then of course as soon as this came out, and all the other information came out about it being a cloudy night and he's stargazing and all the other stuff that goes along with it. So, like I said, I think that the judge is going to be like, okay, I think I've had enough of this. Ultimately, I think the judge decides to press forward.
Yeah. So you think that was going to be my very next question to you, Joe.
Sorry.
So we've got this hearing. No, it's great. I feel like we're vibing here, we're on the same wavelength. So that's my question. You think he's going to deny the defense request for a continuance? It sounds like.
I absolutely think
so.
that.
You don't think there will be any delay, not even like a month, maybe,
nope. No. I'm just going to stop it for a second because we all know that when he says, well, if I give you another month, can you do it? She'll go, well, probably not. You know what I mean? Like, because she wants an indefinite delay. That's what she said in the last court hearing. It might have been court documents if it wasn't in the hearing. I remember reading it or hearing it and being like, whoa, I know I read it. It was in court document. I don't see it. I don't see him doing it.
No huge delay. So you think August 4th, we're pressing forward with the jury selection?
Yes, I think August 4th we start the jury selection, and when you just look at the different populations from where they were in Latah County to where they are in Ada County, I mean, we're talking about, I think Latah County has 41,000 people in it as per the last census, and now we're dealing with Ada County with over 500,000 people. So there's a much bigger jury pool to pick out. But just to put that in context, in Levittown, New York, on Long Island, just one town in Nassau County, we had over 50,000 people that lived in that one town. Just to put it into perspective, I lived in a county with over 1.4 million people. So we're talking about still a very small place, but I still think they can be able to find 12 people and 4 or 5 alternate jurors. I would honestly, I'd like to see them pick the maximum amount allowable by law for alternate jurors in this case, just because of all the social media aspect of it and everything else that goes along with it. Because
it's the 30th.
The possibility of somebody being tainted or somebody posting something is high on the list now.
It is a much larger jury pool, and Ada County, the demographics are different. And the judge apparently has a very strict process that he has laid out for this jury selection. There's a questionnaire that he's devised, and we're not even allowed to have a copy of it. Usually in big cases, you sometimes get a blank copy of the questionnaire.
Yeah.
No way, not in this one. So it's all being kept under lock and key. The jurors will fill out the questionnaires. They'll go through them, toss the people that they obviously are not going to be find suitable right off the bat. So it sounds like they think they can even get a death qualified jury selected within that 5 days. Joe, you might think that's possible. I think that's going to be a tall task, but you think it's doable?
It's going to be a tall task, and I don't think they're going to. I think they'll stretch it beyond the time limits in regards to how long the day goes for. Right. So whatever it's 9 to 5 kind of thing, I think they'll be starting at 9 o'clock. They'll be ending at 5. I don't think there's going to be any early days, letting people out.
No, they are. There is early days, sir. There are early days. They're going from 8:30 to 3:30. That way at 3:30, they can leave and they can go do whatever they need to do for that hour and a half before like banks closes and all of that stuff. So, that's what they said they were going to do.
The first day is always a mess on jury selection, even in small cases, right? So there's a lot of clutter and a lot of things that go on. People trying to get out. I got kids issues and I got work issues and all the other things that go on. So the first day is going to be disaster. But 4 days it's going to be, because I always look at it as the first day you can't count because there's just so much going on. But 4 days it's going to be tough, but I still think they can pull it off.
It'll be interesting. Joe Jackalone, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
The way it worded that, I was like, what? It said 4 hours, but that's the verdict. I'm trying to see how long it took to sit the jury. It's not telling me. It started, it lasted over 8 months. I knew it was a long time. I thought it was 6 months, but wow, 8 months. And I think that the reason why they reached their verdict was because they were sequestered and for, not long, 8 months without your family, without your friends, without watching the news, without being on the internet. Well, at the time, I don't think they really had the internet. I'm just trying to find if it would, how long does it usually? I'm trying to think of a popular case. Maybe if I type it in different. Oh, dang. Well, we might get comfortable. It said it took them approximately, jury selection in the O.J. Simpson trial, wow, took approximately 2 months. The process involved extensive voir dire, and that's what they're doing, where potential jurors were questioned about the exclusion of candidates who violated judges' strict rules about media exposure. Wow. Okay, let's see if we can type in somebody else. Like Casey Anthony. "11 days." That case was pretty big. I remember exactly where I was when the verdict came in. That, I feel like that case was pretty big. I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to think of bigger cases, you know what I mean? Because just based on the fact that the exposure that we've had, you know what I mean? We've talked about this case on this channel for 2.5 years. I don't know how many videos we've got. Oh gosh, don't even go look. Probably 1,000. Sorry, Anjanette, I didn't mean to leave you on the screen with your little eyeballs looking like that. They're half opened. Let's see. Oh, and then I saw this. Let me share this with you guys really quick. Judge Hippler, Nate Eaton got an interview with him. We'll just see what he says here for a second, but this was for the Lori Daybell trial. And it says, "Courtroom seats gone in 2 minutes as courthouse prepares for Daybell trial opening arguments." And we didn't even get that. They ended up taking that away. But I thought we'd listen to this for a second, see what they say. Because I was trying to look up his courtroom. I try to look up a courtroom map. I'm still going to dig in, see if I can get one or find one. But I want to see how many people you can actually sit in the not in the jury, sorry, in the gallery. I want to see how many people are going to, be able to get a spot in there.
I'm Nate Eaton outside the Ada County Courthouse. We're here with Judge Steve Hippler. He is the administrative judge over the 4th District, which encompasses Ada County. Judge, let me just ask you, what have you guys been doing to prepare for such a big, prominent trial?
So we've been cooperating and working closely with Madison Fremont County Administration and all of our justice partners here, the clerk's office, the sheriff's office, the trial court administrator, other agencies, city police, others, to ensure that we have the resources and we have the bandwidth to be able to put on a trial like this. It's not the trial itself that's particularly difficult. We have big trials here all the time. It's the media interest and the degree to which you all are needing to cover this that causes more issues in terms of securing the jury from that kind of influence, as well as to just make sure everybody can do their job appropriately. So it's really a teamwork effort that we've started, probably a year and a half ago, preparing for.
That far out, because
so they are preparing. They already preparing for Bryan Kohberger's case.
As you mentioned, there is
Lori's case was huge when it first happened too. Even through the 5 years until she went to court, he was chasing her in Hawaii. Where's the babies? Where's the kids?
An interest. And one thing I think a lot of viewers might not realize is this isn't the only thing happening at the courthouse. You've got a lot of other things happening.
Yeah, this is a very busy courthouse. We have almost 40 judges here at any given time. And
if they're sequestered in, they'd have to probably give up their social. I think they would just tell them to not get on their social media.
I think they trust them. 27 courtrooms. So we have a lot going on. This week, as an example, I had to ask 3 judges to vacate trials, jury trials they had set for this week because we simply didn't have enough courtrooms. And that's not unusual. And so that's just how busy we are here at times.
So what do you foresee for the next few weeks? What do you want the public to know who might want to come down and actually attend a portion of the trial?
So what I would suggest, 2 things is, 1, be sure you get on the reservation system that's linked on the website, the district court's website, or I think you can get there almost from any Ada County government website now. Make sure the day before you sign up for a reservation, whether you want to sit in the courtroom or in the media overflow where it's shown on closed circuit television. And it's set up in a way so if you want to sit in the courtroom, that opens first and you can apply and you'll find out if you got a seat or not. And if you didn't, then the overflow room is very large, almost 200 seats. So there's plenty of seats there, most likely. So do that.
But they did say that they were only going to allow 1 person to come in and do like all the media for that. So would they have a media flow over, like an overflow room? I mean, I don't know. They should, I guess.
That in advance. Don't just come down here thinking I'll go watch it without having gotten a reservation. And second,
you hear that, creators? Don't just come down here or fly over here thinking you're going to get a seat, because you might not.
And is be patient in terms of the parking. We have limited parking and a given day, any day without.
Oh, yeah, I did the parking. It's like, I forget. I think it was like $300 or $500 and some dollars just to park there for the trial.
Out all of the media here and out without all the interest. And
did that a while ago.
Be patient. Everybody who comes in has to go through the magnetometer and be screened. And so there can be lines at certain parts of the day in order to get in. So bring your patience.
I would say that having been.
I will not be attending the trial because he just told me to bring my patience. And that's one thing I do not have, especially lines.
Here all week, everyone is very professional as far as the security people, very friendly, courteous. So we haven't experienced any issues. What's been the response so far? I mean, are these rooms filling up? So far, we've only been in the overflow. What's been the response?
So far, they're only doing jury selection right now. And Judge Boyce is not allowing people in the courtroom itself in order to make the jurors more comfortable because they have to talk about personal details. And so they can, they're not allowed in the courtroom. They're allowed in the overflow room. The jurors' faces are not shown when they're being questioned to protect their identity, and they're not using their names or using juror numbers. But the interest we've had so far for that, I think we've had, maybe 40, 50 people in the overflow room, which again can accommodate about 200. So far, things have been fine. We expect probably a lot more come the beginning of the case itself next week. But I think once we get going and get into a routine of the trial, things will be relatively smooth. The administration here, the partnership between the 3 counties, Ada County, Madison, Fremont, and all the justice partners involved has been tremendous in working with one another and cooperating. And so I'm not anticipating a lot of hiccups.
Last question. Have you seen anything like this here at Ada County?
I've certainly seen a lot of big trials, significant trials. In terms of media interest, we've had cases with a lot of local media interest. But in terms of the degree of national and international media interest, in my 10 years here, I have not seen that.
Oh, well, I was trying to tell you guys something. So the judge wants a local from Moscow to cover the case. He wanted, instead of like a bunch of media in there or whatever he was saying, he said that he wanted somebody local from Moscow because this is where that happened. And I agree with that, I think that Creme 2 News should do it. Oh, do I still have him up? Oh, I don't. Dag nabbit. But you remember the guy that had the spray tan? I don't know if that was just like his natural skin color, but he was like super like Ken looking, like he looked like Ken, like Barbie and Ken, and he had like the good hair and he was young. Well, he ended up doing an interview with Chief Fry. He ended up being like on a lot of the press conferences, asking questions and stuff. I think he'd be pretty good if they're gonna set someone up like for, I I think they should have someone younger do it, because this could be like make their whole career. You know what I mean? Like this could help them. I don't know. I feel like that anyway. So let's see. Is there anything else? I was going to see if there's any I was just looking to see if there was any, if that guy posted any new videos. Old William, but he didn't. Old William, but his page is growing 1.26K. And people were in his comments from like the last post saying, you know, we believe you. I can't even believe it. Let me see. What else? Was there anything else? I feel like there was something else I wanted to show you. Maybe not. Now they're switching spots. They're weird. But tomorrow is, so after tonight, you guys, thanks Cal for becoming a member. After the live tonight, it'll redirect you guys to the live for tomorrow morning, but or tomorrow afternoon. You guys can, if you want, like, just so you can set in a reminder, if you want to come here and watch that live hearing, just you know, go with the flow with the chat, and then just hit like notify me, you know, when you get in the chat. If you guys want to, if you do go over in the other chat, drop a comment. Maybe that'll help get us into the algorithm for tomorrow. But yeah, and thank you, Cal, for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Welcome on in. So I'll be back on tomorrow at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me think. We'll go over just, you know, like little things that whatever we need to cover before court, you know, happens. We'll see if we can find some pictures of the actual courtroom. That would be kind of wait, what's this? This one might be okay. It doesn't look like there's that many chairs in there. Let me see if there's anybody out there that's live on the interwebs tonight. My live tab isn't even coming up, because that's probably means there's nobody live. Usually if it does that, oh, there we go. I'm like, usually nobody's live does that. Looks like there's a lot of tornado storms. Kansas tornado threat, live storm chase. Well, whoever lives in Kansas, I hope that you guys don't have any tornadoes. Mine's just a lot of severe weather. Wow. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. I wanted to wait till the end of the live, so I didn't like bring the whole you know, the live down. Is Drunk Turkey going live shortly? He didn't come up. Oh, I bet it's because he's not like live yet. Let me see if I can go to, oh, I want to go to my subscriptions. I don't even know where I just went. I went to the music. Oh, okay. So I won't remember to tell Drunk Turkey this, but we have the same intro song. So okay, his intro music for his live is my intro music for my pre-recorded videos. I'm telling y'all. Let me get you I'll get the I'll get you guys the link. Oopsie, I keep going into something else. There we go, subscriptions. Actually, let's just go to his name. That's so much easier. There it is. Well, look at that. Perfect timing. He's going on literally in like 9 o'clock, like right here in a minute. Okay, I just hit notify me, you know, because I need to be notified. I need to figure out how to do the like redirect you guys, but I'm going to redirect you this way. Go in there and, you know, say Tanya sent us. Yeah, there's the link for it. Drunk Turkey. He was on the show on Saturday. He's been on the platform about as long as me, maybe a little less, maybe a little the same. I don't know how long he's been on the platform actually, but I think it's been about the same amount of time. Few years. So yeah, we're coming over. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at me. I can actually like go to someone's live tonight because I'm not live. But what I was going to tell you, and I just want to say that thank you guys for like just being you. That's all. I just want to thank you guys for being you. Thank you for coming in tonight. Thank you for being here. Today is usually a really hard day for me. Emotionally, mentally, physically. My dad was killed 17 years ago today. So, and I didn't even cry. Didn't even cry today. You know, I came on and I spent the time with you guys. So thanks, Jenna. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Welcome in, everybody that got one. So yeah, that's why at the beginning of the live, I was like, oh, it's the 17th. Like I knew it this morning, I remembered, and then I kind of just forgot. Like my brain felt like it was okay, you know? That's like must be the 17th year, I guess. It only took 17 years not to cry on the day. So, you know, I'm doing good though. I mean, I got 3 more hours to go. But yeah, so if you want to put some praying hands in the chat for my daddy, that'd be nice. Because he was a good man. He was a great man. He was hell on earth, but no, he was the best. If my dad was here today, he would be sitting here. I've said this before, and I would be sitting back there. He would be front and center. And yeah, he just would. So, 17 years on the 13th. Look at that, Tony. And it sucks this because it's like Father's Day every 7 years. It'll fall on the same day, and it's like, ugh. But your dad passed 2 years before my dad did. Then, yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I just remembered that, and I was just like, oh man. And then I said, let me remind me at the end of the live, and I felt like if I didn't remind myself, then you guys would be like, what do you mean to tell us? And then I'd be like, oh crap. But yeah, yeah. He was a good man, and he has my mom now up there, just probably torturing the crap out of that poor woman still to this day. And yeah, so I'll let you guys all go over there and watch the show. I will be over there in just a moment, and I'm actually going to get on my phone so I can carry it around and listen in while you guys while he's talking and you guys are in the chat. But let me drop the link over there one more time, just in case you guys didn't get it. Go over, check out Drunk Turkey. Say, hey, Titanium, Tanya sent us. I think he knows my name. I think he knows my real name. But thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. And I will see you guys all here tomorrow afternoon at around 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will listen into the court proceedings. So bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't